The term masterpiece's origins can be traced all the way back to the Middle Ages. It was used to describe a work that a craftsman would present in order to become a master crafter.
Hey, fuck that. We're not gonna do a 30-minute bit about the goddamn word I'm gonna be using a lot in this video. Seriously though, why do so many video essays these days begin with people talking about like the invention of the camera before they talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer for 4 hours? Talk about the thing, good! I've loved zombies ever since I was a kid, and my parents let me watch movies like Shaun of the Dead for whatever reason.
Go for the head.
I'd take him slow, I'd take him fast, I'd take him crawling. What the fuck is this? And my mind was absolutely blown with the discovery that zombies also made their way into the video game scene. Do you mean that thing where I just jump around and punch a lot of guys all the time and stuff that has zombies in it? I don't just have to watch people kill them, I can kill them too? You bet your fucking ass. My brother got himself Left 4 Dead 2 for his Xbox 360. I've told this story before, but just for clarity's sake, I would get home from school early, literally just to sneak into his bedroom and play the fucking game while he was at school. Because he wouldn't play it with me anymore because I wanted to play it so much that he was fucking literally just sick of it. My dad decided that he would get me a zombie video game for the PlayStation 2 to make up for the fact that I couldn't play Left 4 Dead on there. Ordered one of the first results he could find, and that was Resident Evil 4. Playing this for the first time genuinely terrified me as a kid, but also blew my mind because I don't think I'd ever at that point played anything quite like it before. Good God, these people keep yelling we're freaking shit at me, man. God, why are they throwing shit, dude? Chill. Dude, have to actually come off the... Oh! Oh! I couldn't even get past this first part as a kid, but that didn't matter because trying to over and over again repeatedly was so satisfying to me. Now I don't know exactly what ever happened to the game, but that's really as far as my childhood memories with this game go. I never progressed very far because, well, I sucked. But it was one of those games that managed to live rent-free in my head for years until I finally played it again in high school. I could vividly remember everything about this game despite the limited amount of time that I played with it. And you know a game is special if it can make you remember shit about it even after you hadn't played it for years. And finally going back to play it when I was in high school was fucking awesome. For like the first quarter until I got to that part where they're hurling catapults at you in the castle and I didn't notice the very blatantly obvious cover point, so I just kept dying over and over again. But I finally went back to it a couple months ago just in time for its 20th anniversary, which is today. Jesus Christ, I feel fucking old. And finally going back and finishing this for real was a blast. I felt like I had completed unfinished business from my childhood. In all seriousness though, I don't think I've had this much fun with a video game in a long time. And I just want to spend the next 15 or 20 minutes or so talking to you about why Resident Evil 4 is so special to me. I'm gonna stop doing the green screen part now because goddamn, this jacket is so fucking hot. It is so hot in here, dude. I'm just gonna go do the rest of this my old-fashioned way.
I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
Resident Evil 4 is genuinely one of the scariest games in the entire Resident Evil franchise. And even when it wasn't scary, it was still violently tense. Like, I haven't felt this on edge since I was on the one right next to Sleep. Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad of a joke, come on. I could have just said edge to Sleep. This game loves to throw insane obstacles your way, but it's almost always... I'm gonna have to say the thing now. It's hard, but... This game will send wave after wave of enemy after you, trapping you in these memorable and unsettling environments as you're forced to fight for your life against all odds. But if you're good at finding ammo and you play your trades right, you'll have just about whatever you need to get out of every single one of these encounters. There's never really been a lot of thought surrounding which weapons I should use in other games of the franchise. If there's only a couple guys, I'll use the pistol. If it's like a crowd of dogs, I'll probably use a shotgun or something. But here you really have to strategize the best usage of your weapons. Let's see, if I keep my distance, I can take out a good number of these dudes with my sniper. And then by the time they reach my position, I'll just hit them with the TMP. Hell yeah. Or it will be something fucked like, oh shit, that giant thing is fucking coming for me. And all I got is magnum ammo? I don't even have a magnum yet. Fuck. Weapon selection in this game is probably some of the best in the entire franchise. That classic silver ghost with the laser sight is iconic and will probably end up being your best friend at various points in this game. And yes, I knew the name of the gun, and yeah, I had to look it up. Or you'll have the opposite problem where your inventory is filled to the brim with handgun ammo because you just haven't had any use for it in so long. Speaking of the inventory management, it's some of my favorite in the whole franchise. It's very simple. You can place things wherever you want, and you can rotate them even to fit in different directions, and you can expand your inventory over time by buying upgrades from the merchant. It's something we haven't really seen before, but the way it makes it exciting is the way that they incorporate it into the gameplay. Take this for example. I really want this rocket launcher as I know a boss is coming up soon, and these babies are the key to that shit. They one hit every fucking one of them. But I don't have any room in my inventory. I'd have to sacrifice a bunch of ammo or a few weapons in order to get it. This is a very engaging choice to make as you actually have to consider keeping the good shit you already have or abandon some of it in favor of something that's definitely going to help you later. Back to the weapons though, you also get this dope ass magnum later in the game that demolishes all that comes in its path. There's the absolutely beautiful fucking trilogy of shotguns that progressively upgrade in strength as you go throughout the game and get the new ones. The last one you get in particular is a goddamn beast and is probably my favorite gun in the game besides the TMP. You're also given different throwables like the grenades that just blow dudes up, grenades that set them on fire, and of course smoke grenades that you'll probably forget to use most of the time. But your main best friend throughout the entire game is a weapon so powerful I was afraid to mention it before this. The knife. Some of you think I'm joking and the rest of you saw where this is going immediately. Not only is the knife good for dwindling the supply of wooden crates in all of Spain, but it's also godlike on enemies if you use it properly. You can stun lock even the most powerful enemies in the game. And it's even effective on crowds because if you hit the first guy, you can then immediately follow it up with a goddamn roundhouse kick to the face, which will send him flying back into his buddies. It's amazing. I'm so glad this is in the game. It's powerful and cool, but you won't be relying on it too much like the hand-to-hand combat in Resident Evil 6 that you have to do most of the time because there just straight up isn't enough ammo in that game sometimes. Even in normal mode, I had like 20 bullets at all times while hundreds of zombies were continuing to spawn. Guys, if you want to make your game like Call of Duty, you actually have to make it work like Call of Duty 2. You can't just keep the survival horror elements and slap it onto a modern warfare game.
Oh, beat his ass! What the fuck? Jesus Christ! Did you see that kick? Calm down, Pierce.
Even though you have all these fancy weapons, you're not like automatically an action hero or something. The game still knows how to balance that out with the appropriate amount of enemies. There's still times where I felt like a badass though, no doubt about it, but then immediately in the next scene I was cowering like a little bitch. And that feeling persisted throughout the game. I'm amazed at how well balanced it feels. Even the on-rails segments were nerve-wracking. Like no, literally, there's this one part where you're riding on a minecart ass fucking rail from Minecraft and shooting a bunch of guys from different ones. It's awesome and this is the best Indiana Jones game ever made. But moments like this genuinely had my heart pounding as it strips away all your control as the player. All you can do is shoot, stab, and jump from cart to cart. And the franchise has always thrived on making you feel like a passenger in the game that you're playing. And this game makes you feel like you're in the backseat of a speeding fucking car that's being driven by a kid who's too short to see over the steering wheel and has to use books strapped to his feet to push the pedals. And he's really pushing those shit. Are you sure those are books or are those some goddamn bricks? One thing I'll always respect about this game is the fact that there's always a strategy that works for every encounter, and you're encouraged to experiment to find out which one is best. That fight against Lord Farquaad might seem insanely difficult on the first try with how massive the arena is and all his ginormous hentai tentacles bombarding you from every single angle. Could have phrased that one better, huh? But then you shoot his ass with a rocket launcher once and he immediately dies, and you feel like a genius but also a fucking dumbass at the same time, because god damn, this fight was pissing me off for the first 2 attempts. And then I found this shit out and felt like a fucking idiot. I do recommend shooting him with the TMP just for fun though, because it's hilarious to see his little ass go like but same thing with Krazier too. I spent forever on this shit only to realize that if you shoot him once at the RPG, it's over. And when that happened, I probably looked like fucking this. But for real though, fuck that boss fight. If you don't knife him to death or do this, it is miserable. The arena is so tight and small and he moves so quick, you literally just don't get time to attack him. And those dodges, man. I'm so sick of those Matrix fucking dodges. When I finally watched this piece of donkey shit eating motherfucker die, I think I stood up and fist bumped the air like I won a goddamn war. In all honesty, I think this game probably has some of the best Resident Evil villains, in the sense that I will always remember these guys and how much I genuinely fucking hated them. And I don't use that lightly either. I think this is one of the best examples of love to hate them I've ever experienced.
This is no ritual. It's terrorism.
Isn't that a popular word these days? Not to worry. We've prepared a special ritual for you.
And it wasn't just them either. The absolute disdain I feel towards some of this game's regular enemies is on the same level of people I hate in real life. Those half invisible, stompy ass fuck faces, those annoyingly accurate crossbow guys, those fast ass dogs. Don't even get me started on the fucking bugs, man. Words cannot express the absolute violent rage these fuckers would send me into every time they show up. They're so loud and gross and they hit so damn hard for no reason. And they won't stop dodging and weaving. Their attacks just suck. Their claws do so much damage and you wouldn't even know, because 90% of the time they won't stop grabbing your ass. They do this nasty shit where they puke all over you and you just gotta sit there and fucking take it. Or they do this annoying ass, disorientating attack where they just toss you like a goddamn hacky sack. And it's not like you can avoid them. They're always in massive crowds. Fuck these guys. But in all seriousness, despite those bug guys, I genuinely think this game has some of the best horror enemies ever.
Why are these people? What are they planning? Chainsaw. Shit. Son of a...
The Ganados are such a simple idea, but it is so damn effective. A parasite attaches to its host and turns them into a crazy, violent ass hentai loving freak. Hey! Seriously though, most of the game's enemies are super memorable. Everyone wants to talk about the Regenerator and their floppy ass bodies, but nobody brings up this Dragon Ball looking motherfucker. If you shoot this guy, he literally says no. He rejects the idea of being fucking shot. Being trapped in these cramped ass rooms with a nearly invincible enemy was a nice change of pace and probably one of the scariest moments in the entire game. The way he's just constantly behind you. Oh my fucking god. Can we also talk about this straight up masterful level design on display here? These environments are so unique and instantly stick with you. That castle is jaw-droppingly huge and feels like something ripped straight out of Dark Souls. But this came first, so I guess Dark Souls just ripped straight out of this shit, huh? The castle is so beautiful though, and I just loved every second of exploring it. It's easily the best part of the entire game.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now.
No more games! Kill him!
I also love how they included the bit where you play as Ashley and get chased around by these fucking suits of armor. It feels like this is all that remains of that one build of the game that's now referred to as Biohazard 3.5, which would have been a more traditional Resident Evil game following Leon as he explored a large haunted castle filled with these freaky ghost guys. But I'm also sure you already know this, but just in case you don't, Devil May Cry also started out as a build for Resident Evil 4. Devil May fucking Cry, the game, Devil May Cry, which that just blows my fucking mind and is easily one of my favorite fun facts to deploy as an energy vampire. I mean, what? No, getting back on track, the castle is great and one of the best locations in the franchise. I love getting to explore a new castle and village, and I really hope that this stays a trend for the franchise where every 4 mainline games they get shit like this again. The only part that I don't think is as well designed is the latter half of the game. specifically just like the third act. From my experience, a lot of these games fall apart a little bit in the third act. Not that they're bad or anything, they just kind of lose track of what made the game so great to begin with, and sometimes it feels like filler. Every time I replay 7 and I get to that stupid fucking mine, I just wanna This game wasn't nearly as annoying as that though, but everything involving the final island felt a bit lackluster to me. The only part I really liked is when we got to fight the regenerators in that confusing ass lab. Give me more of this place and less of angry soldier guys shooting me with rockets, please. And I've said it before, but I will gladly say it again. Fuck this guy and literally everything about him. Fuck his QTE mid cutscene ass bullshit, motherfucker. I was taking a hit when that happened, and then I took another hit when it happened out of annoyance. All jokes aside, the third act is fine. It's just not as masterfully crafted as the first two, and it's not like the characters only suck now all of a sudden. They've been assholes for the entire game. You have like maybe 5 allies for this entire playthrough. That radio lady from the beginning who just kind of disappears for a little bit. There's Ada Wong. Yep.
They could never make me form an opinion on you, Ada.
And then there's Ashley, who just doesn't have much going on, to be honest, because she's not even that much of a character most of the time. She's just more of the objective of the game. And she's not as hard to protect as people like to act like if you just pay attention to her, but god damn, if I have to hear, "Help! Leon!"
One more time, I'm gonna use this on myself.
I swear to god, they really couldn't have given this girl more than just 2 fucking lines of distress. Just say something else. Literally anything else, please. But who could forget Lewis? He's the best dude ever. He helps you out during the one fight in the cabin, and he But for the most part, it's just gonna be you and good old Leon Kennedy, one of the best fictional characters ever put in a goddamn video game. He's got jokes, he's got that anime look, he's a badass, he does unnecessary backflips, what's not to love? And he has some of the funniest green screen formats I've ever fucking seen.
What is this? What context would I even fucking use that for? He's just answering the phone? Why is his wrist broken? This was just him sitting in a chair looking like a badass. This isn't even a green screen. This is just that fucking clip of his eyes going all weird, like, ooh. No thanks, bro. There was one. What the fuck? Now we're getting to the good one.
I love Leon with all my being, and with this franchise that's just full of larger-than-life characters, he will always be my favorite. Also, fuck that little asshole. The success of Resident Evil 4 should not be understated. Pretty much every critic and person who played this game enjoyed the shit out of it. It made so much money, got rave reviews, and was re-released multiple times on multiple platforms and consoles. You can even play it on the Wii, and according to people who've played it, it's the better version of the game, which is kind of surprising to me, but fuck it. You probably know the rest of the story. The success of this game made Capcom want to embrace the action even more in the follow-ups. The somewhat underrated Resident Evil 5 was basically the same game but twice the insanity. The insanely stupid and terrible but really fun when you play it with a friend Resident Evil 6 was basically just an Avengers movie but with a bunch of scrapped anime characters. And it kinda killed the franchise. For like 5 years. Resident Evil 7 saved the franchise by just being the old games again pretty much. 2 years after 7 they did a remake of 2 using the modern technology of the new games, and it was fucking sick. This was also such a hit that they almost immediately got to work on a remake of the third game, and it came out to get mixed reception and it was kind of fairly disappointing. It was a fine game, but compared to the 2 entries that came before, it could just kindly fuck off. But this game left people with a fair amount of questions. What's next for these remakes? Are they gonna do Code Veronica or Zero or something? Or are they gonna do 4? Nah, there's no way they do 4. 4 is still great and it's still one that, wow, they are doing 4, okay. People were kind of split on this choice, as some were wildly excited and others found it to be completely unnecessary. I was kind of in the middle. I was really excited to see how they might handle something like this, but I also understood the opinion that this wasn't really that necessary. But eventually in 2023 the game came out and was so good that I teared up a little bit while playing the demo. I was drunk, okay, cut me some slack. Resident Evil 4 Remake is genuinely fantastic, and at points I preferred it to the original. But I don't actually want to pick, because that would be like picking my favorite kid. And I just happen to have children almost 20 years apart from each other, sue me. And besides, I would only do that with my own children. It's you, Devin, you're my favorite kid, don't tell the others. Because I want to do it myself. Hey guys, Devin's my favorite.